Hi, my name is Joshua Unruh. I am the marketing czar for the consortium, and I am very excited to tell you about how we at the consortium are hacking the arts. Because believe me, the arts need hacking, even if the majority of people don't realize it. Now, that lack of awareness is due to a system that's only been in place for the last 80 or so years, but it's become such a sacred cow to artists that they will starve for lack of a hamburger. So let's slaughter us up some copyright. Copyright has turned the arts into a lottery played by the hobbyist and the dreamer. But for every fanfic author that writes another 50 Shades of Filthy Lucre, there are thousands of mechanics and accountants and all kinds of things that play in GarageBand, sculpt on the weekend, or write poetry on their lunch hours. There just isn't enough difference between buying a lottery ticket and sending a query letter into the publisher or a demo tape into a record executive. The odds are just as long, the payoff is hopefully as huge, but the cost to play the art lottery is so much higher in time and money. And the ironic thing about this is that copyright originally was meant to protect the artist's livelihood by giving them control of the copies of their work, but Americans were pretty good at commoditizing art, and it drifted and became something meant to protect the distributor rather than the artist. I'll give you an example. Metallica hated Napster, but Metallica didn't sue anybody, their label did. Also, copyright used to have a reasonable amount of time attached to it, long enough for the artist and their immediate descendants to profit from the work. But a certain company who shall remain nameless lengthened that amount of time until now the odds of getting your copyright expired are as likely as a visit from Santa Claus. The distributors used to value artists because they needed new IP like cars need gas. But with an essentially eternal copyright, they could treat their artists like migrant workers on an IP farm. Now, I'd like you to imagine that some of our greatest cultural touchstones, like Jane Austen, Shakespeare, Mozart, that those are still under copyright. Would we even have a culture left at all? It's hard to imagine, right? But what's the alternative? Artists have to sell their art to make a living, right? And no single artist can do it as well as any company, right? Not if we hack the system. We have to ask ourselves, before there was intellectual property and when there was only art, how did the artist make a living? And the simple answer is patronage. The rich and powerful put artists on staff and paid them to create art. Shakespeare's troupe were the king's men. It wasn't a clever title, they were on the payroll of James I. Mozart was the musician for the Salzburg court. Michelangelo was kept for years by the Roman Catholic Church while he worked on the Sistine Chapel. But they didn't pay for the creation of this art so that they could exploit it for more money. They gave it away. They gave it away in plays and exhibitions, and these are the greatest works of art in the history of Western culture, and they've been given away from the day they were created all the way until today. So patronage is key. But we have to hack that also. We can't do it the way that it's always been done. First, we make artists a day job. We make it a salaried position with vacation time and health insurance, just like any other modern job. But we can't stop there. We also have to hack the land and nobility part. Because these days that looks like a corporate donation or a government grant. But that probably won't be the largest source of income. Social media, blogs, all that has made a place in this world where artists and fan base are closer than they ever have been before. And that closeness allows things like Indiegogo and Kickstarter to work. That way we crowdsource the patronage so that mini Medicis are able to fund the arts a few bucks at a time. Now in the meantime, the consortium gives away every piece of art that it creates into the public domain. All of our characters from plays and novels are available for anybody else to play with. Rewrite the endings if you like. Use our music in your movies, your web series, your TV shows. Put it in your band's set list. We don't care. Because we already have a salary. We're not playing the art lottery. Our art's the culture's art, and so the culture gets filthy, stinking rich. Now, there's more that I don't have time to tell you about. There are other pieces, like how, at its core, the consortium is an art school that pays you to attend it, or how our teaching system creates long-term mentor relationships. Those are also hacks for the art world, and we are very proud of them. But they don't work without the patronage hack to get the dominoes falling. And I really think that this is summed up best for me by a lyric from Black Thought, the frontman for the rap band The Roots. I'm going to paraphrase it for a family audience. And his advice to artists everywhere is, forget getting money for real, get freedom. That's a pretty revolutionary thought, but if you can imagine getting both, then you understand why the consortium is hacking the arts. Thank you.